yeah, Veronica Mars, I'm watching you. Private eye.
Hello and welcome, you dirty little marshmallows, to your podcast, Veronica Mars. I am Joe.
And I'm Travis.
And today we are bringing you the fan-funded, fan-favorite Veronica Mars movie. Well, at least part one of it. We're splitting this into two parts because, personally, I just think it's only fair that we give it... It's essentially 2 episodes.
And it's your
together.
choice. You either listen to, like, a disgustingly long episode of us talking, or you take a week break. We thought this was the most beneficial for everyone.
You're most beneficial if not having to listen for 3 hours of a chunk. Hopefully it doesn't add up to that much.
We didn't really want to record 3 hours straight, but...
Listen. I wanted... Yeah, no. I thought... No. And plus, we could spend more time on the movie, and I'm personally a huge fan of the movie. I know you have your issues. And just watching... Because so we didn't, watch the whole movie and are just talking about the first half. We literally stopped 58 minutes in of this episode, and we're only talking about those 58 minutes.
Joe, because I watched it last night, Joe's like, okay, you pick the halfway point. Where do we stop? Because you can't really just, stop halfway, mid-scene.
Right before she punches Madison.
So
pause.
We hit a spot. I stopped it. I'm like, Joe, stop here. It's basically like a cliffhanger ending to an episode, so
it works really well.
Do we want to discuss real quick how we got to a Veronica Mars movie? You as a fan, I guess we as fans.
You're not a fan anymore. Well, I think at that point, Veronica Mars always popped up in shows that deserve to come back.
It was always on the list of critically acclaimed, shows people loved, and it's no, because the ratings are not that great. So
what Pushing Daisies and Hannibal is now is what Veronica Mars used to be back in 2013.
A lot of people acted like Veronica Mars was just this critical darling, and but not a big viewership, but it didn't really win anything. It wasn't really there wasn't really a huge buzz about it, except for if you're in
a cult
the
favorite.
fandom world.
It was a cult favorite.
It was a cult favorite, and I think it grew, obviously, but I never thought of... No one ever really... A lot of people, if you ask what's Veronica Mars, I don't think a lot of people are going to know.
That teenage girl detective, something like that. But I remember when they announced the Kickstarter, I was super poor at the time. Super poor.
Yeah.
I think I gave maybe $5 or something. That's all. I was just I want to do something. I don't even know if I got anything from that. I think I got the script.
I got a sticker and the digital script.
But I had a friend that got an early draft of the script, so I already had it anyway. So I was just whatever, $5.
I mean, it's really impressive what it was able to do, and
it was amazing. I mean, it was so cool
$5 million is crazy.
It was so cool to sit there and refresh and watch it update.
But
and,
it's really funny because
climbing
to see shows try to follow in its footsteps and just not come close.
I know. It was I think what happened too, it was the first of its kind to happen like that, and people that didn't watch the show wanted to see this Kickstarter succeed.
It's true. I remember
that helped a lot.
Just very, not even it's very a lot of rich people were this is cool. It was the first. I think it helped that this was the first of its kind, and to have a movie fully produced by, I mean, not fully, but mostly funded by...
Produced.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the WB did kick in some money for, near the end for advertising and additional stuff. Which I think people, obviously they made more than enough money, but it's not like it was 100% fancy. But it was cool. It was really fun. I went and saw it twice in theaters. I didn't have the greatest reaction to it.
So you saw it again?
Well, because I had two different people who wanted to see it in theaters, and
Oh God.
because it came out around my birthday, so someone paid for me the second time, so I didn't pay for it.
Oh, because it came out in March, right?
Like near the beginning of March 14th.
That's right.
So someone paid for me to go see it.
2 weeks after your birthday.
Whatever. I mean, that's weird. Are we going to be talking about the movie basically around the time it released? How topical.
This episode releases on March 18th.
Yeah, so basically the same week that it came out.
Holy shit. Happy Veronica Mars Movie anniversary week. That's pretty cool. I did not plan that. I have tried to have a lot of things like sync up with the dates, and it never works because we end up taking a break or something in between, and that gets fucked over.
But this one's cool. Happy 7th movie anniversary.
How? The 20th? Wait, what?
7th.
Oh, 7th. I'm not that old yet. So let's break into this. I guess the episode description.
I have one question for you before we break into it. Before seeing the movie and before reading the script, what did you want out of this movie? What did you as a fan want to see in this movie?
Veronica.
Okay.
Honestly,
well, I feel like that was a given. We're doing the Veronica Mars movie, but Kristen Bell's decided not to do it.
Who would they get to? Who would they recast as?
It's Alona Tao.
Hayden Panettiere. It's Hayden Panettiere. Oh my God, Meg! No. Alana Tao. Yes, I would kill for that. Honestly, at the time, more than likely, just Logan and Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
I know where I was at that point in my life.
I know who I was. I was garbage, and I'm okay with
that. Probably that and Mac were my two big, this is all I want, because those are my two favorite parts of the show. Logan, Mac, and Veronica.
And you got that. I mean, you got that. I get why you like it.
I did. I got, and I just wanted that, witty Veronica back. And, thankfully, with Diane on the script, we got quite a bit of, I think, quite a bit of great dialogue with Veronica. Yes. What about you? What did you want out of the movie you didn't get?
What I really wanted was, because Veronica Mars was always hyped up as this noir mystery show, and I just wanted a really good mystery. They had an hour and a half to tell a really good mystery, a really good story for these characters, and I think the mystery
it was almost 2 hours. It was almost 2 hours.
Okay, they almost, so that doesn't help. They almost had
that's what I'm saying.
I think the mystery sucked because you kind of knew who it was gonna be, because it was obviously the guy who wasn't part of the show before. It felt very I saw it coming. I feel like most people saw it coming, and I wish they would have used more 09ers. I think outside of the whole Leighton Meester thing, I think there's a lot more characters they could have brought in.
I agree.
That could have been interesting.
One thing I don't like, and I just want to say it real quick because it just reminded me, and I'm pretty sure I'll talk about it, but the 09er Club.
Oh, I like the 09er Club.
I knew you would, because I don't.
I thought it was a great progression for these douchebags.
We'll talk about it when we get to that point.
Yeah, let's start. I loved the previously on Veronica Mars.
Am I doing the movie description?
Oh, what does iTunes tell us about Veronica Mars the movie?
Well, Travis, it tells us, on the eve of graduating law school, Veronica Mars has put Neptune and her amateur sleuthing days behind her. While interviewing at high-end New York law firms, Veronica Mars gets a call from her ex-boyfriend Logan, who has been accused of murder. Veronica heads back to Neptune just to help Logan find an attorney. But when things don't seem right with how Logan's case is perceived and handled, Veronica finds herself being pulled back into a life she thought she had left behind.
I'm pretty sure she'd already graduated. She's on the eve of taking the bar exam. But anyway.
Was that it? Or is it just the interview?
Well, because Jamie Lee Curtis says you're about to take your bar exam, but you graduated near the top of your class, so she'd already graduated.
Oh,
about to take the bar exam.
I gotcha.
Because you can't. Because you're supposed to graduate before you take the bar. Because you need to take the bar exam.
I just went and took it and passed. I don't like. It's hard. Like
you know, right? I guess that tells the movie. I don't know. This movie's so weird to like. There's a lot of things going on in this movie.
It was definitely, and one thing I guess I'll say before we get into it, I love that it's like pure fan service.
Which is fine.
Granted,
I enjoyed.
Granted, I think it's a very specific fan it's servicing.
Yes, and it's so weird how like it's. I remember when this movie came out, and if you did not like the movie, you were not a fan of Veronica Mars. You were not a real fan. But to see kind of the reaction for season 4, and it's like, well, if you did like season 4, you're not a real fan. It's like, well, come on.
What's the difference between the two? What's the difference between
like, let's read the room here. Okay, so I just want to
talk about that montage.
Talk about the montage. I love the advertising for this movie. I like the DVD cover. I like the photo, whatever they're called.
The like dark green coloring that they go for.
Because it gives it a really cool look. It stands out from the seasons. But it still has... It's like they use the same logo, which I really appreciate.
Yes. And it's not even hard. It's like a fucking aerial. Like...
I know. It feels like definitely like a continuation of the promotions from before. But
I like the leaning in of the photography as well.
Yes.
The promotion. I think that was really smart of them to do. Especially with the whole montage thing at the beginning. With our like
I love
credits.
The previously on. I thought it was so...
It's amazing.
I thought it was really interesting though. And... Because obviously to use certain actors... Even if there's just like archive footage, you still need to get permission, especially for the movies. So it feels like, because they blur out Teddy Dunn's face, Duncan, they don't, because they show a clip of from the first episode when he's walking past her in the hallway. His face is blurred, like his whole face is blurred out. And then, but we see Lily.
I think that's just supposed to represent that it's been so long since she's seen him. She doesn't remember what he really looks like.
And then it's also really funny because we don't see an image of Meg. So I kind of wondered if they just couldn't, if she just didn't
they couldn't afford her.
Couldn't afford her, or did. So I thought that was really interesting because Duncan was a very vital part of the first season. But I'm glad they're able to.
A lot.
I'm glad they're able to get Lily, because it would have been really weird if they couldn't get, like, Lily.
I've got a secret. Who said that? Who's saying these words?
But I thought it was a nice, quick recap for people who haven't watched the show without going...
Or even if you did watch the show, but haven't, like, rewatched it
Because also, it wasn't streaming. The streaming wasn't really huge back in 2014. It was Netflix was our option.
I had to bust out my DVDs.
I think I watched the first season to get ready for it.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
That's basically all the knowledge you need, except for like I guess who Piz is, but it's.
I'm pretty sure I watched 1 and 2, and then like half of season 3.
You got up to like Spin Egg, and you're like, "That's a good recap."
Let's go watch the bitches
but
back, and we're good.
I love that the flashback ends with the last scene from the bitches back. I thought that was a nice, like, it really for some reason, like, since I guess we just watched it, I'm like, well, that hit me in the Veronica Mars feels.
And then from the montage, we go into the law firm scene, which I think was such a good reintroduction to Veronica, especially with the middle finger lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
It felt also like, we're not going to swear, but we're still going to have fun.
We're going to swear once.
Yeah, once. We got to keep that PG-13 rating.
Which is I don't get. I'm very confused what because it's not like this movie had to make back its money, so I didn't really understand why it needed... I don't understand what this movie is supposed to be, and I don't think anyone could figure out what this movie is supposed to be. And, like, it technically didn't make a lot of money, but it didn't spend a lot of money. I'm just very this movie very confuses me as like I don't know why it could have just been an R-rated movie.
I don't know. I think it also like rated R movies. I think there's like just other restrictions like outside of the country as well. Maybe I don't know any of that. Either way, I don't think it would have. I don't think we needed a rated R Veronica Mars.
I mean, we kind of got that for like the Hulu season, actually.
Well, no, we didn't get swear words. We got decapitations, though. I love that the law firm actually Googled Veronica and like started, because that was a very natural way of like bringing up all her past shenanigans without being very exposition-y.
Yes.
I thought that was really smart.
Yes. And I like that Jamie Lee Curtis was like interested. She's like, I'm kind of intrigued by this. And when she is confronted about the sex tape, which we'll discuss later, because I feel like they kind of retconned the sex tape into something bigger than it actually was. I like how she's like, do I look ruffled? And the guy's just like, sorry.
That was so good. And then from there, we visit Piz. Mr. Piz at his radio station, I guess.
I don't know if it's Rob Thomas, just like has this thing for radios. It just really like I feel like this was,
it is.
I'm
it's
like
him.
we didn't need this. Like the scene does not add anything. Veronica meeting like his boss, I didn't care for. I feel like it was like an inside joke that I didn't get.
They could have met for lunch somewhere on the side of the street. This felt like a set we didn't need.
Yeah, it just
like money we didn't need to spend.
I'm like, okay, cool. We know a little bit more about Piz's life, but it's like, what does this play into the actual storyline of the movie? Because it doesn't.
Ooh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to try not to do a thing where I say, ooh, maybe we shouldn't have spent the money here. I'm going to try really hard not to be that person with this, because I love this movie. Anyway, so we find out about, I guess also we find out about Bonnie's death at his work.
I thought that was a good, like,
cut.
It was funny because how I like Veronica's line, I knew her as Carrie Bishop, or like I went to high school with her. We'll just talk about it now. I get it. Leighton Meester was busy. She could not film. She was doing something else.
A superstar. She couldn't. She's busy.
But my issue is hire another actress. They hired a musician, and it shows because all the scenes with Carrie in the flashbacks or whatever, she's not a very good actress. She's very bad. And
I didn't even really notice her doing anything, honestly.
Well, that's because the scene, like the video of
scene?
Logan and her, she's very like a musician standing there, and I don't think her music was good enough to be like, yeah.
Also,
great.
like, I guess the sex scene, not the sex scene, but like the video footage of her and Logan having sex, but it's like just their legs.
Yes.
That was so weird.
I mean, I guess because we're already talking about her, from the Carrie Bishop we saw in season 1 of Veronica Mars, I don't understand why she was hanging out with friends with all these O-Niners. Because I thought her and like Susan Knight were basically like
outcasts,
ostracized at that point. So it felt very weird that they were now O-Niners again. And also
like they were hanging out with all of them on a boat.
Yeah. I didn't.
And Carrie's like singing career kind of came out of which I think he was hoping to get Leighton Meester.
See, that's like, I don't like whatever the singing career. I don't mind because I went to school with someone who is now an actress, and you would never in a million years think she would become an actress. And she kind of fell into it, so I get that. But this just feels like a very different. It just feels like he wanted to use someone from the show, but it didn't work.
Do you have a suggestion as to who would have been a better?
Kimmy.
No one fucking cared about Kimmy. Veronica be like,
but
wait, isn't that the bitch who took like Meg's picture to Fantastic Sam's for a haircut?
Kimmy was a singer.
Ago? I don't know.
In acting. No, I think it would have been funny.
No.
I think it would have been like...
No, that would have been far worse.
And like her stage name was like Meg.
Oh my god. Well, she's dead. She can't come back for the name.
I just thought it was a weird choice. I don't...
Oh my god, what if she was like a folk singer type of... like Lilith Fest-ish singer, and she went by Meg Womaning. I'm sorry, that was a lot of build-up for nothing.
It was a lot of build-up for nothing.
I couldn't get out of my head.
And also, like, we learned that Carrie comes from, like, her dad's a pastor, which I don't think was ever mentioned.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
And that she went to, like, Catholic school for her up until grade 10, which again, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they kept trying to retcon stuff to fit into the story, and clearly Rob just created new characters, so why not just create a new character here?
Yeah, but that's fair.
Because what's her name? Ruby Jetson.
Jetson. Yes.
Also, her yearbook photo was so stupid.
Oh my God.
It's not like she was a real character, and what's his name is Stu is not a real character either, and they're not real characters. They're not original characters, but they're like placed in like they are. So it's like, why did it have to be Carrie Bishop? Why they should have just made it Susan Knight instead and had Carrie Bishop die on the boat, because at least you would have the actress for Susan Knight.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that would have worked better than. I think they just wanted a name people would. But I guess Susan Knight could have worked too.
But it's not like Carrie Bishop was like a huge character. She was in one real episode and then like kind of a cameo in A Trip to the Dentist.
She was Leighton Meester. Everyone knew her because it was Leighton Meester.
But you don't even have Leighton Meester. I would understand if you had, but it's not like they couldn't change the script after they didn't get her.
Could they not have?
They could have. They could have been like, they'd be like, okay, cool. We can't get Leighton Meester. Let's make it Susan Knight instead, and just swap their names and just. It's not like sorry, the fans paid for it to be Carrie Bishop, so it has to be Carrie Bishop.
Oh my God. Okay. Where did we? Oh, her finding out about Bonnie's death. What is Dan Lamb? What's the brother's name? What's
Dawn?
What is it?
No, it's not Dawn. I can't. No, it's
No, because we have Dawn Lamb for our original Lamb.
It's Dan Lamb.
It is Dan Lamb. Oh, well, so dumb.
I like the little "We Used to Be Friends" intro. That was cute. A little acoustic cover there.
Oh yeah, where they're walking out.
That was cute. That was a nice little...
And where she's like talking about Carrie, you almost expect her to be like, "Oh, me and Carrie Bishop, we used to be friends a long time ago." Someone's just out there like, going to fucking town. Oh God.
I kind of would have loved us. Like, I think it would have been really fun if they would have given us opening credits. Just, like, it would have been so stupid, but so much fun. I mean, you're giving us a fan service anyway. Just do it.
Just go full tilt into it. So then Veronica's at her second interview when she gets a call from Logan Eccles asking for help, to which she, of course, flies out immediately.
I love the drug metaphor. There's something really interesting about it.
It's so fucking perfect for this.
Or like the alcohol. And I love that she brings up her mom a couple times. And she's like, my mom was a drug.
I have that exact thing written on.
She could shake it up at the PTA.
Whew. Oh, you jumped a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So Veronica returns to Neptune. And we get Logan.
Okay, his eyes when she comes off the plane, like there's just something about his soft little emo eyes that I'm like, please hold me, please just hold me. Like, I feel like I would You could safely cry in Jason Dohring's arms.
He'd protect you.
He would, and then he would look at you like, it's okay, little angel. It's fine. It just feels welcoming and soft. But why does Veronica have a season 1 picture of Logan for his picture?
Also, why does he have the same phone number like 10 years later?
Logan, if anything, loves to just keep his... He doesn't want like all that hassle.
This is true. But like, I do feel it weird. Like, so she's clearly upgraded her phone quite a few times, and every time she upgrades it, still gives him the photo.
That photo. Like, but you've been filled by season 3. She would have upgraded the photo. Maybe she's like, oh, this is just a cute picture of you from when you, like,
I just find it weird she still had his phone
constantly.
number. I mean, I know it's not weird. It's like that. It makes sense because she's like in a dread. She's been waiting for this call.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my gosh. She's sitting there in her interview and like Pavlov's like belt just like drenches the fucking seat she's sitting on. No, not here. Anyway, here. I love after Logan drops Veronica off at Mars Investigations. I wish they would have rebuild the old Mars Investigations or found something that looked more like it. I didn't like the new office, to be honest. Sir.
What?
Sir, they had very limited means with their tiny budget.
I'm just saying.
We had to get Dax Shepard in here. We couldn't afford it.
He did that for free. I would have liked like some stained glass windows or something.
That would have been great.
I think I kind of missed the vibe of this movie. Doesn't feel like they're in Neptune because they're filming in a different city, which is fine. But there's just something, and I get Neptune's changing, but it definitely sometimes, some moments in this movie, it didn't feel like a Veronica Mars movie. It just felt like a different movie, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it does. But I think it works better now that we got season 4, because season 4 is like, we're supposed to be like a completely different Neptune. So you kind of have this transition period. Like Veronica hasn't been there in 9 years.
And I do like the idea because, I mean, I don't know, because I've lived in the same basically area my entire life. But when you do leave a place and you come back, it is different.
Dude. Okay, so I grew up in a very small town, and like I was away for 5 to 10 years. I want to say a good, like, closer to 8 years. We'll meet in the middle.
That's a big different 5 or 10 years.
It's fair. So we'll meet in the middle at 8, and it was like a completely different place. They had gotten so much, they had like changed so much, and that was just like a shithole in Arizona of a small town. Like, Neptune had money, so I can.
And it also
imagine.
makes sense that if you think about all the kids that were in Veronica's class, like the 09ers, how as they grew up, they would most likely stay in Neptune, and then they would grow Neptune. It's very interesting. But I just like when Logan drops Veronica off at Mars Investigations, the street they're on, it threw me out of the movie because it didn't feel like I was watching Veronica Mars.
It kind of did that, like, because they do a lot of driving shots.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're in a small. Kind of feel like I feel like you're just in LA.
Yes. 100% that. I do love that Keith was like, of course it's Logan that brought you here and not the reunion or Wallace or Mac. Of course it would be Logan. Just, he is so upset about it. And I get it. And I love his like subtle hints at like, Piz, the good boy. Yes. Come home, Piz.
I do like that they established Veronica and Piz had kind of just started dating again. And they haven't been dating that entire time.
Because it makes what happens in the movie a lot, like, doesn't make Veronica come off as a awful, horrible person. Yeah.
Because, like, she hasn't met his parents yet, so it's okay.
We haven't gotten up, but we're not talking about that part. That's not in this first 58 minutes. We have plenty of other stuff to talk about. Like, after the whole Keith and Veronica running into Dan Lamb, Mac and Wallace stop by the house. And it's so great to see them.
Oh no,
and
they
Mac,
don't run into Dan Lamb. They run into another cop. It's not him that pulls. That's
that's right. That's
I like the idea of the class warfare, and I think that's what season 3 really basically dropped to the wayside, and I think kind of was missed out. And I like the idea of them having to clean up these garbage parts of town because it's all being rebuilt up. Because I can relate to that. Because in Vancouver and a lot of like the suburbs, or like crappier suburbs, they're trying to build them. So all this like, it's not even like a criminal element, but just like this unwanted element is being victimized and kind of pushed out, but there's nowhere for them to go. But then it's like, they're not doing anything wrong. They're just poor. So obviously they need to find ways to get rid of them.
And like no one's doing anything to kind of fix the situation they're putting them further into.
Yeah, so because in Vancouver we have a place called Tent Village, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's
most major cities will.
And it's just growing. It's just growing, and it's because they're kicking all these people out of these places that used to be affordable places for people to live that are no longer affordable because they're all being torn down. And I'm only really like, because I'm looking for a new place right now. A lot of these apartments are like double the price of what they should be, and most of them are empty and are bought from like offshore accounts. So it's like we just have right now in Vancouver, at least, this huge housing problem because there's all this housing that no one actually lives in.
That's disgusting.
Sorry.
Yeah. Nasty.
So that's what I like. I wish the movie maybe explored that a bit more, and I think the second part does go into that more, but I like that.
We definitely get into it at the end of this part.
So I find it very interesting that what Neptune is going through, especially since it was almost jokey in the first couple seasons, where it's like, it's the rich and the poor, blah, 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 blah. But now it's like, well, now it's just going to be the rich. It's only going to be the rich.
Yup. We find out that Mac is working for Kane Software, which is good for her. Get that money.
I know. Calm down, Veronica. Okay, like you were more than happy to take money from them if you could. Okay, like
she was about to become a lawyer, and what isn't she like talking about the entire movie about how evil lawyers are?
Also, like you weren't going to say no to that Kane scholarship if you got it, Veronica. So.
Oh, how hard was she trying to earn it back in season 1? Super hard.
Yep.
Don't want to hear it. Miss Mars. Keith's fucking line of, "Hey Wallace, how's next year's freshman class looking?"
Oh, I love that. I'm like, that might have been my favorite line of the movie. And just like Veronica's not something you want to hear your dad talk about.
Yes! It was so good. And then Wallace not laying off Veronica's neck about coming here specifically for Logan.
Yes.
So when Logan said jump, how long did it take you to say how high? Was it just an automatic, or?
I find it weird that Wallace and Mac just automatically hate Logan, because I thought they were all in like a pretty good place at the end of season 3. But also, like, I don't know. Who knows what happened?
Not really, because like their last
Mac
interaction
and Logan were best friends, okay?
Okay, yeah. Mac and Logan should have been fine, but Wallace and Logan didn't leave off in a good spot, so.
And I assume because Parker and Logan broke up, Mac stopped seeing Logan.
Oh, yeah, Mac took Parker's side.
Which, unfortunately, because this is the one time I think Parker was in the wrong.
Oh, God. So then Veronica goes over to Dick's to help Logan interview some lawyers.
Let's talk about Ryan Hansen real quick.
Right out the gate, him and Kristen have just amazing chemistry together.
Because I remember when I watched this movie, I'm like, this is the man. He grew up.
Oh my God, your boobs look bigger, so do yours. It was just so good.
Whatever, Veronica, that was a compliment. You used to bitch about how flat you were, okay?
Right?
I like when he answers the door, he's like, I told them to send an eager to please brunettes.
How hard is it get this right? And Dick is right. It is crazy that he's the only one out of the three without a sex tape.
So, can we maybe talk about, like, isn't it established in season 3 it's not really a sex tape? Because Veronica and Piz hadn't had sex yet. It was all just, like, over the shirt stuff.
It was sex. No, we saw her topless. It wasn't actually, like, penetrative, but it was, like, sexy fool around time.
Also, the clip they show at the grad, or at the reunion, is, like, not how it was filmed in the episode. Because, like, on the other side of the room, and it wasn't, like, at night with, like, a Paris Hilton filter on it.
Oh, my God. You're ridiculous.
It's true. I don't know. I feel like the sex tape, they try to really play it down at the end of season 3, but now it seems to be a much bigger deal than it was. And I
don't think they try to play it down. They try to make that the crux of Veronica going back to...
Yeah, but Veronica even herself
her pariah
made it
status.
sound like it wasn't like an actual... They weren't having sex.
Well, because everyone's like, oh, Piz is in there banging you. And she's like, well, calm down. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't
I think
purely carnal.
I think just because we just finished season 3, it just feels like... Also, it's a sex... Who fucking cares, okay? Like... I don't know. For some reason, I felt like it was a bigger deal than it had to be.
I'm going to leak your sex tape, Travis.
And then also, like, of course, Rob Thomas has to... Even in the movie, Veronica has to be victimized by his sex.
I was going to bring that out.
Like, that's her character development.
I loved when they bring up the Dick's medical license or...
Yes. I feel like you should... you probably shouldn't be around, like, illicit legal substance. And Dick's like, I have a card, yo. Like, chronic depression.
You wouldn't think, huh?
And then he, like, takes a bite. He's like, I'm already starting to feel like myself again. It's true. Of course he has a weed card.
He was the first one to get one. I enjoyed that they brought up Logan's parents, like, during the lawyer
God. I love that
interview
lawyer.
process.
He's like, your dad killed your girlfriend, your mom jumped off a bridge. Bam!
Bam, case solved. Like, you. So correct.
So correct. So like, awful, but so correct.
So on the nose. Oh, God.
They show a quick clip of Perez Hilton's website. Side note, Perez Hilton is garbage.
Trash.
And
never has
they could have edited that out. They also show TMZ in this movie. There's some stuff in this movie that feels very dated, and it kind of
that TMZ show is still on. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but just something because in the show it didn't, like, I don't know, they didn't really use real world things. In the movie, it felt gimmicky,
and it felt like they just threw a bunch of celebrity names over on, like, the left panel thing where. Yeah. They were listing off the celebrity, whatever that is. Either way, both those things are garbage, so...
Yeah.
But they were also being used in a garbage context. So
but it also felt like... Because, like, they wanted to be a part of this thing. It's like... I don't know. It just felt more like them trying to get their names into something. Because at the time, this movie was a bigger deal than it kind of panned out to be. And I think a lot of garbage people wanted to get into it. And Rob Thomas was like, sure.
Why not? So then Logan decides to thank Veronica by taking her out for a drink because she's going to be leaving in the morning. And I fucking love the name Ruby Jetson. I think it's just fucking hilarious. I don't know. It needs to be someone's drag name. It's fucking... It's so outlandish and weird. Like, it just makes no sense. It's too just weird. Like, Jetson?
I mean, her name's Veronica Mars, okay? Like, Jetson compared to Mars is pretty, like, tame.
But, like, Jetson's like a trademark cartoon. Mars
My last name is Simpson.
Wow. But you had that last name was before The Simpsons existed.
Anyway, I thought Ruby's yearbook photo was so stupid and so over the top. It felt like an 80s yearbook photo when it was not the 80s. Sorry, I just keep bringing it up because I like it. Shout out to the O Canada karaoke.
Oh my God. What can you expect? They're Canadian.
And when Logan's like, calm down. So what does Veronica say? Oh, you're not the bare naked ladies. And then Logan's like, I think they might be, actually.
Well, she says Terrence Phillip, like, you're the bare naked ladies, because we got a South Park reference. Yeah. Because why wouldn't we?
Yep.
And then when fucking Ruby is doing the karaoke, I laughed so hard at the very end when she goes up to Logan and she's like, I miss her too. Like, it's just so loud and and
I like how the Canadians are like, it's not that she's bad. This is like her 5th time doing this song.
8th time. Like, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
Or I think 7th. Either way.
And then I like when she looks at Veronica. Why'd you bring her here?
Yes. And I like that we get to see that Logan was actually like a stabilizing presence in Carrie's life.
I also don't see Carrie and Logan dating personally, but I do like that. And I wish we would have got more of that. I think they didn't establish, I think that's a problem when you go like a big chunk of time with characters and you got a time jump. It felt like there was missing pieces that they would never be able to fill in.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially something like that. And I think they covered a lot of groundwork by just saying, like, Logan enlisted. And that just, fixes a lot of that time.
Yeah.
And there you just, like, substitute in a drill instructor somewhere for where... and then Veronica begins to fall into her own ways, and we get a little montage of her going through her old stuff.
Her accessories.
Her accessories.
I like that her bag's in there, like the classic bag. That was nice.
She's like, this is just all part of the feeling. Like, this is a vibe that I have to put away.
I can never, if I put this bag on for casual use, it will trigger me.
I can't just go shopping with this bag. My camera fits perfectly into it. I know.
My question is, and I don't know if you remember or if you have an opinion on it, but why and how does Keith have a beautiful house?
So maybe that brief stint as the sheriff, he just saved all that money.
So he stole money is what you're saying.
There we are. Yes, basically. But it's not on his way out, he was like, really, well, I'm never getting hired here again. And just started
It's not really like the how, it's the why would Keith need a big house?
Ooh, yeah.
Because I know my parents are planning to downsize, and a lot of people do, and it's not like he has grandkids on the way,
or like a wife or girlfriend.
I also wish I don't like that Keith is still single. I think that really bugs me.
Bring back Alicia.
Even if it's not Alicia, what? No, he's such a pariah. He can't find anybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what would have been really nice? Bringing back the counselor lady, Rebecca.
Becky.
Bringing her back.
I thought you were gonna say Miss Hauser. I was like, don't do that to him. That's
she
Sax
is
girl.
With Sax.
Yeah. Or wait, no, that she wasn't dating. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, bring back Miss James.
Yeah,
I think that would have been a fun little throwback. Don't have them together to they're newly dating or whatever again, revisiting things. She's back in,
and then Veronica shows up again. Town Miss James is just fucking hell.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Fuck
I can't.
This Keith. I can't do this again. This is trigger. You said she was out of the state. You said she was across the country.
Because I would have Alicia would have been cool, or just anyone. I just don't because even in season 4, I just don't like this Keith is old and alone thing. It's weird. I don't like it because Keith is an enjoyable guy, and if his reputation,
he's a catch,
and it's very clear from even though his reputation is not the greatest, there's still so many people that were on his side. I don't see it him being this biggest pariah in town.
Yeah, I agree. When Logan is standing by the car when Veronica comes out of the house, it's just such a nice moment. There are a lot of really nice moments with Logan in this.
I like how Veronica because all through the first part of this movie, she has straight hair. And then the moment she comes back, she starts to curl her hair again. I'm like, it was a nice change because it's very clearly two different Veronicas. And it worked actually really well. Better than it had any right to work.
Right? But really, all it is it's like, oh, Logan's here. Let me just curl this. Right? I know he likes a good curl. I know he likes... That was his problem with Hannah. Her hair was too straight.
Oh, that wispy hair. No, because
the whisper.
Parker at least could get that wig to curl.
He liked that second wig option that was just all curls. I really loved Veronica's the line where she's like, "This will be a farewell tour," type of thing, like where she's trying to like talk herself into it. Like, this won't be bad. This is just gonna be like my last hurrah.
And then she's like, "That never works."
Oh well, I'm really into this. This is bad. And I really enjoy that Veronica. I think they sell really well that Veronica is the only one in Logan's corner for this whole thing. Like, it kind of looks bad for him, but Veronica's like, not my man. He only beats up people for me.
I almost wish there was more people on Logan's side, to be honest.
But whom? There's Dick.
Yeah, well, Dick is always on Logan's
I'm sure
side.
Duncan is, but he's like blurred out in Australia.
It's just, so. I don't know. Like, I think, like, that's the one thing I wish we would have had, like, these missing seasons or missing years, because Logan has all these friends, but clearly not actually.
Not good friends.
No. And, like, then when Veronica calls... Veronica goes into...
Ruby's place.
And
that is such a good scene.
I love when she's like, I'm a scouting director and Clint Eastwood, and the woman's like, oh, my son-in-law
right?
does his taxes. And she's like, I love the Carrie Bishop like memorial. Or
oh
like
my
not
God.
even memorial, like her vigil.
Yeah, it's like a what Helga had in Hey Arnold.
Yes.
Like, it was very that. It was giving me very Hey Arnold.
When she turns around, it's just
Helga
a huge
Pataki
photo.
Yes! That thing is like the size of the wall. Like,
yes.
They have those vinyl decals that you can buy for your wall. Like, that was the biggest one that they offered. That I am correct. And Wallace was sitting next to Mr. Wu, right?
I have that in my notes. And I even went into the credits.
You blink and you miss it.
But I'm like, I thought that was so nice how they brought it, because I love Mr. Wu.
He was the greatest.
Because I wanted to mention it because I have a friend who is now a teacher at the high school we went to, and she's like, "Yes, the weirdest thing, like being colleagues with the teachers that taught you, because you're like you're all adults now, but like there'll always be these authority figures, but then you realize they're all just like adult, like just shit adults, because that's what everyone's just a shit adult, and
right?
It's like." She's like, it's the weirdest thing. And she's like,
oh my God.
She's been doing it for like 4 years. And she's like, I still can't get over it. She's like, there's certain teachers I can't call them by their first names. It just doesn't come out.
She still calls them like Mr. or
Yeah.
Mrs.
I physically will not allow me.
My tongue does not allow that word to form.
But I do think that Mr. Wu and Wallace would be friends.
1000%. And they would talk about their hatred of Logan a lot. But also, that was the episode where Logan and Wallace team up, isn't it? The Mr. Wu episode? And the egg dropping?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh. Maybe Mr. Wu was like trying to persuade Wallace, like, hey, maybe don't hate Logan. Like, maybe he's changed.
I think what they're really doing is, I bet you anything, the moment Wallace became a teacher, everyone's like, oh, fuck, we can't talk about Veronica. And then Wallace just starts bitching about her. They're like, oh, it's okay, guys. It's okay.
Oh, thank God. If I had to go the next 20 years without having to complain about fucking Veronica Mars and the hell she put us through, the 4 years I guess Just the last 2 years she was there.
She was fine before Lily Kane died. Okay, we get it. Your best friend was murdered.
Womp, womp, womp.
A lot of people's best
motion.
friends are murdered.
Who hasn't had their best friend killed by their boyfriend's father in an affair? Come on. I absolutely adore that they had Veronica ask Wallace for a student file.
Oh my god. And then like he's like, I'm a teacher now. She's like, oh good, I'm not putting you out.
You're right. This is the kind of fan service that I think works for everyone.
And it's also because Veronica's been waiting forever to use this ever since she found out he was a teacher.
Yeah, she's like, oh god damn it, like if only I was still in Neptune, I could use this to my advantage. And it works. It doesn't feel like out of place or like weird or...
Well, because Veronica's a shitty friend through and through. She might be gone for 9 years. She's all shit friends.
Well, not even that. Like, that she really would need like Carrie's or whoever's... or Ruby's.
Yes.
I almost said character profile.
It basically was a character. It was like, okay, here's her character profile from the show she wasn't on.
Whatever. And then Veronica gets caught there at Ruby.
Oh my god, I love it.
Sent to jail.
She was so smooth trying to get out there, and Sax is like, Veronica? And she's like, and I love the, I'm glad you kept the stash look until it came back in.
I would like to take a moment and talk about Sax's glow up, because holy fuck. The man is
go on to his Instagram page, like Brandon Hillock. Ugh, damn. And he's also a huge nerd.
Fanboy Brendan?
So, yeah, he's also like a huge nerd, so it's even like sexier.
Hotter.
It's even hotter.
Oh my god.
He's like
oh my god.
Superhero and Jedi shit, and I'm like, because I honestly didn't realize it was him at first, and I'm like, he also looks so good. He looks so young.
Yeah, and okay, so that's the thing. In season like 1 through 3 of Veronica Mars, I always thought Sax was like in his 30s.
Yeah.
And then like I see the actor who clearly looks really fucking young, and I'm like, what is this? Is it just the mustache?
This is my theory, and like follow me through. Okay. So Don Lamb was super in the closet and was just hiring all these very hot men to be around him. Because we got Sax and Leo. Come on now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm straight, but you know
all
what?
these fit younger men.
Yeah.
Ooh, because Sax would actually probably be like around maybe a little older than Leo.
Yes, but still too young to be like his position.
Oh, he knows what position to get into.
Yeah. But it was great how Veronica's just... I love whenever Veronica gets caught in something, because she was so smug about trying to get out, and
then she never wants to like admit that she was wrong throughout it, so she's just like sassy the whole time about it. And Ruby's turn to like, hey girlfriend, like it was so good on the actress's part. Like, she played really well opposite of Kristen in that whole exchange. I really, really loved it. And then fucking Cliff. So glad to see him. Looking fine as hell as well.
Yes. I enjoy when Veronica's spewing out, like, legal stuff. He's just like, yeah, that sounds right.
Yep, sounds good. So, like, she is, like, already light years beyond him in law.
Oh, obviously.
And he's just like, cool. Just gonna hang out in the corner.
Cliff is the type of person that took the bar exam but did not graduate from law school.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Yeah.
Oh my god. He does really well on tests, just not in an academic setting.
Yeah. I like that we learned that what's her name? Della Pugh. Went to Veronica for help, and then Veronica was just a bitch to her. And I'm like, it's kind of nice that Veronica has like some comeuppance, because
all these years later too, and she's like, God damn it, oh, God, like of course it comes back to bite me.
But I like how Veronica's like, oh, why are you holding the grudge? And Veronica's like the queen of grudges.
She's like, wait, you can let go of a grudge? How do you? Can you show me that? Is there? did I miss that meeting? But it wasn't for nothing because Ruby gets a date with Logan out of it. And honestly, I mean, Ruby wins at the end of everything. My favorite
thing is when Logan's like, and Veronica's like, you just don't know how dire this is. And he's like, I let her play hearts on my upper thigh for the last 10 minutes, Veronica. I know how dire this is.
Oh my god. And then just before that was she's like, give me a second to adjust. I forgot to wear panties. Yeah. And then she's getting out with her miniskirt. Oh my god. I would do the same thing if I got to be a...
niner for a day?
Yeah. I'd be like, ooh, not my cooter hole now. Yeah. Sorry about it. Oh my god. I'd let that thing fly out everywhere.
Okay, so let's talk... You don't like the 09er, the idea of it?
Okay, it feels way too on the nose.
But
the 09ers got together and made like a nightclub. But then like...
But you look at the 09ers who's there, because it's like, that's... Dick would do that, and I feel like I don't know. Luke is the only one that doesn't really seem to fit into that group, and also, Gia was only like an 09er for like 6 months. Okay,
a year. She was in the whole season.
Right. It's so weird. Like I love Gia, and I'm really glad they brought her back, but she doesn't really seem to fit in. I never felt her as really like an 09er.
Well, because... No, she always worked as an 09er. She just felt like...
But she never felt like she was part
ahead of the other kids.
Yeah, like, and I think by season 2, the whole like 09ers weren't as... They're kind of downplayed a bit more because it was much bigger in season 1. And I just feel like... I don't know. It's weird. I love it, and I'm glad we got Kristen Ritter, and I love how high up she is in the billing because she deserves it.
She fucking does. Veronica telling Justin Long to fuck off was worth the one fuck off that we got.
I honestly, I wish
fuck off.
She should have given it to Madison, or Madison should have. I think Madison should have told Veronica to fuck off. I think that's where it should have gone. Personally. I need Amanda North.
No, you don't get to say that because what am I supposed to say? No, I don't want Madison to say fuck off. That's just putting me in a very compromising position, sir. That's so rude. I did forget Dax Shepard was in it, and I was like,
so did I. I'm sure Dax Shepard's a great guy. I just never understood the appeal to Dax Shepard.
He's a fun enough, I guess. I don't know. His podcast is apparently like
to me, and I don't appreciate that.
I'm not a fan of man children, but like his podcast is the most popular podcast or one of the most. Like I don't get that. That's
the thing is he just has a lot of friends. But I will say I think the Michael Rosenbaum podcast is a far better. But whatever.
Can we real quick talk about like the greatest moment / line of the episode?
The episode?
Of the episode, because this is episode 1 of the movie. But Veronica's like complaining about all the guys.
I had that too.
And Ruby's just like, oh my god, are too many boys hitting on you? Poor thing.
I have that in my notes too.
It is great. So perfect. And so just like true to life. Like, oh, Veronica's mad because she's too hot.
Yes.
Oh, I'll take my ugly self over here, Veronica, because it's so hard to be you and hot.
Like because Veronica, at the end of the day, is like a hot blonde.
She's a hot, popular blonde. Like, the name on everybody's lips is Veronica Mars. Like, come the fuck. It was just, it was so good. I loved it. I love Ruby. I wish she was in season 4, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I'm going to throw in a question to you, and
oh no,
this might just enrage you because it didn't happen, but you know how Veronica was in New York? Do you know who else is in New York?
Fuck you, Jackie Cook. Fuck you. Fuck off.
Wouldn't it be cool if, like,
Thompson,
Veronica and Jackie were friends in New York? And then, like,
they couldn't afford Tessa.
No, they could in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
or
she hadn't
2013 or whatever.
She hadn't got that Marvel money yet.
And then like, I don't know, she shows up to the because technically Jackie was she graduated with them. She wasn't at graduation, but I assume she graduated.
Oh, fuck you! I didn't even.
I think it would have been so. I think that would have been such a great little fan service for like just a little Wallace Jackie moment, and just like having a quick.
That, if like. Even if they just had it like Veronica met with, like, they're still in contact together.
Yes.
Instead of fucking Piz.
Because I honestly feel like if Veronica was in New York for like years, she would have met up with Jackie at least once.
At least once. Oh my god. Oh, I hate everything. But they didn't care about Jackie, so
I just wanted to bring that up because it was like something that I was thinking about, and I'm like, I wonder if Joe thought about that.
You know, I didn't.
Also, a Miss Dent cameo would have been neat.
I was actually going to suggest her as Keith's
no
girlfriend.
No.
No? Okay. Also, wait, no, she's far too young.
Far too young and deserves better than Keith.
She deserves better than the Mars household. So when Ruby is going on about, like, her theories of what happened to Carrie, technically she was right with her second theory up until the Catholic Church part about her putting like codes in the music.
She watched the first 2 seasons of Veronica Mars, and she knows Rob Thomas has a thing against the churches, so she's actually not that off. And she's not that off.
Fair.
Like if it had turned out,
Church, so.
If it had turned out like the church had killed Carrie, I would have been like, yeah, that fits with Rob Thomas's opinion on religion.
Oh my god! And then like I loved the whole Carrie Bishop. Yeah, put it together. It all works. I'm just, oh god, it's. I love that kind of batshit conspiracy theory where they're like, but you connect.
But it's funny because it's such like a. There's some really hardcore like fans out there. Like people still talk about the whole like, is this really Avril Lavigne or is this like her twin? And the real Avril Lavigne is dead.
Is the greatest conspiracy
theory.
I would love to cover that somehow.
And I just don't know where it came from. And like I've watched a bunch of comparison videos of like old and new Avril, and because she like sometimes
it is so easy to get sucked in.
Different.
It is so easy and scary to get sucked into that, and you're like, oh my god! Like by the end of it, you really are like, no, Avril's dead. Oh my god! Like.
Yeah.
Well, let me go listen to Girlfriend real quick to R.I.P.
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
Sorry,
so I
girl.
can see like someone as crazy as Ruby to come up with that.
Yeah. And then her making out with Logan when they drop her off. Yeah, of course she is. Yeah. Who wouldn't?
I hope she copped a feel. I hope she got
just a little like there. Turn your head and cough, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
We should take the long way home. Like, Veronica, girl, honey, babes, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah.
You're not.
And I like how Veronica's like,
anyone.
I'm just pouring the glass. I ain't drinking it.
It's just swishing it, smelling it, looking at it. I'm not going to taste it. Sure, girl. Wallace and Mac tricking Veronica into the high school reunion.
I love how Keith is like, my daughter was so sharp.
Right?
So sharp, and now she's dull.
That was such a good little like play there. Like I wasn't even like rewatching it. I was like, oh yeah. Like I completely forgot.
I just like how Veronica's like, but the bibs.
Lobster. They could have at least taken her to eat first.
I like to believe they did.
Yeah, you know, like a little like to-go box type of situation.
To-go lobster.
You can eat it on the car right there.
So then we get Queen Madison.
We get the climax of... Well, yeah. This would be like the first climax in the movie. Act 3. Is that where we're at?
We're not in Act 3. Because movies are like 3-act structures.
I thought movies were... Oh, yeah.
So we're in like... This would be the end of Act 1. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to do movies, but this is not the
same.
This is not the
obviously, as I said, look at Act 8 in this.
This is not the climax. The climax would be like in Gia's apartment. And this is like
wait, you meant never mind. I thought you're
double entendre. I didn't even mean to. Well, from the sounds of it, Gia was having no climaxes in that apartment, okay?
Ain't that correct? Well, not from her boyfriend, anyway. We're getting too far ahead of ourselves. We haven't watched the episode yet.
So, Amanda looks fantastic. Madison.
Oh, my God.
Her hair looks great.
So fucking good.
And then we get Shelley Pomeroy beside her.
I
disagree?
I will take this. I'll take a multiverse Shelley Pomeroy. I'm not going to be picky.
Yeah, there's like
WandaVision.
There's 3 Shelleys
opened me up to being more accepting of multiverses. Well, I will say,
they just call her Shelley. They don't say Pomeroy.
That's fair.
But I wish they put a set, because Shelley Pomeroy is like, not even like, it is like in the Veronica Mars verse, it's iconic, the name.
She's iconic. She's the whole reason we're where we are.
I mean,
inadvertently.
Yes.
Let me put that.
I love how Madison's the fake, like, oh my god, like, what's your name? Like, pretend like she doesn't fucking know. It's Veronica.
Oh yeah, like welcoming. Yes. And I love Veronica's whole, well, let's see if Lucifer's still a bitch. Like, I love the vitriol between the two. Like, it works really well.
I didn't really care for, like, the two dudes behind Shelley and Madison.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're supposed to be their husbands. It didn't work for me. It just felt very gross.
It did.
Also, because Madison deserves better if that's her husband.
I don't think Madison is also getting with someone who is not completely obsessed with her.
Fair.
I'm sorry, but she is not about to be with...
My theory is Madison's going to marry a gay man, and that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah. Bottom so she can peg him.
But that was weird. It took me out of the movie because it just felt really gross.
It did. And
it didn't add anything to the film.
No, because it's not like...
Because it's not even like it's characters we know.
Well, okay, so you know what it felt like is Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Ugh, talking about a great movie.
That no other movie could come close to a high school reunion.
What's his face too? Alan Cumming's in like all my favorite movies.
That's because Alan Cumming is a god. Like,
you forget he's in something.
That bisexual king.
The problem is you forget he's in it, which is the downfall of his greatness.
Downfall, but also when you go to watch, you're like, oh my god, that's right, and it's like such a reinvigorating experience.
This is true. So where were you going with that?
With what?
Bringing up Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Oh! Well, okay, you know how, like, when they get there or whatever, like, the main girls, the popular girls' like, husbands or whatever, all, like, skeezes and, like, hitting on others. It gave me very much that
It
vibe.
worked better, that movie, because it wasn't just, like, it wasn't as gross.
It wasn't like a throwaway, like, licking my lips
because
behind.
It's not even established if that's their husband, so there's not even, like, if there's a connection between these people.
Yeah. You just kind of assume, like, why else would they be hanging out there?
Yeah. So we get Cordy, which is nice.
Yeah, especially before he turns into an asshole personal trainer.
Oh, that's right.
In season 4, I know. I don't know if that's actually corny, though, or if that's just... they just use the same actor.
It's not been established, so...
It's not been established.
I had to say, I know there's, like, so many people they can bring back, but I don't know. I wish there was a couple more people they would have brought back for the reunion. I would have really liked the girl who lost her dog.
Mandy? You don't even know her name!
I don't know. It felt like it was very, like, light on the high school people, and there's just so many of them.
Diane was not allowed to dig in as much as she wanted to.
They should have brought back fucking the son from Home Improvement, the Chaz, not the
one who beat his wife.
They should have brought back the dude with the ninja stars.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he graduated. I think he was a year older than Veronica.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have worked. Yeah. Oh my god, what if Veronica was just dating him when we
Do you know who I wish was in this episode? Do you know who I wish was
episode? Oh, now you can say episode?
Not bringing back oh fuck, what's her name? Meg's sister was a missed opportunity. I don't know how.
Oh, yeah, especially since she was younger.
Yes, it's been established she's younger.
Younger, even though I thought she was older sister Lizzie. She's younger sister Lizzie. I would have, they couldn't have done that. It wouldn't have worked.
No.
You would have had to, like, bring in the other Mannings, too. Oh, there wouldn't have been time or room.
No.
That would have had to have been, like, a story to bring in the Mannings.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that could have been a fun, I don't know what, Lizzie goes missing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah,
Lizzie's a pop star. Lizzie could have been the pop star dating Logan. Escandalo. Love that.
Lizzie was a pop star in my heart.
Okay, let's talk about Weevil and his wife and kid and how adorable he is when he's this happy, and I wish his end game would have been right here.
I don't know. I'm torn because I am very fascinated with what they did in season 4 with his character because it's so real.
Meaty and good.
Yeah, and Weevil, I think giving Weevil a happy ending in the movie or like a happy family works.
I'll give Weevil a happy ending.
Yeah. But I do enjoy but it's weird. I wish we would have known more about the wife because it seems like she was also, because she seemed to know everyone there. So like, did she go to high school with them?
That would have been cute if she was. But then, I don't know, it's a lot of like very like we all met in high school and we're all dating now.
Yeah. But it was sweet. I like how happy he is about his daughter and
he's so Weevil, proud. If there's one character I wanted to just like ride off into the sunset happy, it was probably Weevil.
I do Wallace. Really hate that Veronica did not keep in touch with Weevil. That actually really annoys me.
It hurts. It hurts. But also, I don't know how they would have. But they should have.
It does make sense because they were. I would never really call them friends because they weren't. Because they like turned on each other like whenever the writers needed it. Yeah. I wish she would have kept in touch with him.
That would have been so like. Or do you know?
No. What they should have done is have him and Keith stayed in touch, and then Veronica just knew from Keith.
Oh my god! Like she's like BCC'd on the emails between the two of them, so she's not like actually like talking to him. She's just kept in touch about how they're communicating with each other. Can we talk about how Gia is getting lots of help from her therapist, and that her anger may have been misplaced from Veronica accusing her, getting her dad arrested for pedophilia?
But it's funny because like I can see where she would obviously come from.
Yes.
And that's like I wish season 3 had Gia because I would have loved that fallout between the two of them. That's one of the things we really were robbed of in season 3.
I know. But I feel like we're always robbed of anything like Kristen Ritter. I almost called her Kristen Stewart.
But it was great to see Gia again. I love that Gia's still Gia.
Oh my god. 100. She hasn't changed a bit. And that, I don't feel like that is far off base. Like, it rings true to Gia.
I'm glad they brought her back for this movie. But also,
Matt, if you're going to be talking about something that's happening after this 58 minutes...
I'm not. I'm just saying, I legit don't see the Goodman family staying in Neptune after everything that happened.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. Like...
Because, I don't think she would have stayed friends with everyone. I don't think she would have stayed in Neptune where her dad had a history of molesting young boys. Because I think the Goodmans would have been basically the pariahs. Because even if it's like...
Yes.
It sucks, but... the family gets the fallout a lot more than the actual person.
Well, also he's
he dead.
Yeah.
He blew up real good.
So there's no one else. Like, they're going to take that fallout.
Yeah, so that's why I don't see Gia staying in Neptune, especially since it all seemed to happen in Neptune.
I could see her coming back, like, for the reunion, but to, like, be in Neptune?
Be in Neptune the entire... Because it's pretty much established she's been in Neptune the entire time. So...
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It feels very much like Rob didn't want her in season 3, but now that she kind of has a name, he's like, well, we're going to bring Kristen Ritter back because she has a following.
Oh, God. Was this before or after? This was before Don't Trust the Bee, right?
I want to say this was after.
Oh, so she was like...
Oh, this was like during Don't Trust the Bee.
Oh, okay. Okay. Get that promo, Kristen. Yeah.
But also she was just on Breaking Bad, and that was pretty big for her.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then she was in some other... Like, she was doing
Where she gets killed. Like,
She ODs real hard in that movie.
oh, it's show?
Show, yeah.
All right, let's... Felix. We get a little Felix Toombs memorial. That was so cute. I love that they had that in there.
Yes.
That was very much needed and appreciated. Oh, my king. The Leighton Meester erasure, though.
Oh, also those photos were so bad. Like, that wig she was wearing was so bad.
So bad.
It was the season 1 wig, and they just dyed it brown.
I get it. You have, like...
It was the pilot wig, and they just dyed it brown.
They would do that. They would. Oh, my God. They would. Just to fuck with me, too. I get it. Like, Leighton Meester's not Carrie Bishop, but, like, the pictures they used and for, like, the new Carrie were just horrible. It didn't...
I also, like, feel so bad for Susan Knight. Like, she gets knocked up by her teacher, and then a couple years later is, like, dead.
Drowned. Where's her kid?
Where is her kid?
That would have been a good mystery for season 4. Something with Susan Knight's kid. I don't know.
This would have been a great way to bring back Adam Scott.
Let's. Don't think we should. Don't think we should do that. And then Madison starts to play the sex tape. What's your issue here? Didn't you say you wanted to bring up something more?
Oh, the sex tape, it felt very different than the sex tape we saw in season 3. Like, it
looked more like they took that sex tape and then, like,
filtered
zoomed in.
Yeah.
And then filtered it.
The sex tape was basically in the other side of the room, and it was like we were Veronica from behind. It wasn't, like, up close in...
Like we were saying in that episode, it looked like it was like some HD shit. Like they had a boom mic and like everything in the room.
But it was still far because we had the whole
it was an aerial view of the room.
And because we see her doing like the cheering, but like the one on they're showing is like someone's right up in there, like just
like on her back.
Yeah,
like,
it was. I'm like, I don't think I would have cared if we hadn't just watched it because it threw me off, and like the whole. Like night cam look. I'm like, but it was the lights were on during the sex tape. Also, are you telling me Mac did not scrub every ounce of that sex tape off everything? Come on.
She works for Kane Software, and she's not like. But
you know, like, here's the thing. You know, Madison downloaded it the moment she saw it. Backed it up on
she's
anything.
had that on a flash drive for years.
She's like, I can't plug it into anything because I know Mac's waiting for me to do it.
She can't plug it into any computer that's connected to the internet.
Yeah.
She makes sure it's like a desktop with no like wireless card or anything. She's like, I just need to make sure it still works. Like every now and then she'll burn a disc.
Yeah.
And then like put it in a safety deposit box. And she just has this.
And Max
I'll
just,
get
like,
you, Veronica Mars. I'll get you. Okay. I've tried to keep any Piz hate to a minimum in this this not episode, but this episode.
Fair.
Because like there's nothing really to hate Piz on in
There's not.
the movie. He's cute enough. Chris Lowell's charming, etc.
It's just weird. It feels more like... It just feels like Rob Thomas really likes Chris Lowell. Because he also plays kind of a big part in iZombie.
He sees him as
him.
Piz, yeah.
So it's weird that it's like fan service, but not anything the fans asked for. It's Rob service.
Yes.
So I think people would have been more...
It's masturbatory.
I think seeing Parker would have been... I think fans would have liked more than seeing Piz.
Yeah. Yeah. 1000%. Especially since she's not dating Logan anymore, so it works. Okay, but my issue with Piz.
Is it when he says my peoples?
No. But that is annoying. So the sex tape is playing, and once again, Piz does nothing. Piz just stands there and watches it like he hadn't seen it before.
But also, like, at this point, him and Veronica have probably had sex multiple times, and
no, they haven't. I'm sure they haven't.
Adult
She's
sex,
still like,
yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
I don't know.
Touch my boobs.
Whatever.
However,
this is like
you know who does something?
Logan.
Do you know? Mr. Logan Eccles. Taking care of business once again for Veronica Mars. Whereas Piz was like, look at this. It's a sex tape I'm in, Veronica. Do you see what's going on? And then, secondly, why didn't Mac do something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, her getting Veronica.
And then it takes Wallace how long to finally go and unplug it? Like, y'all need to get your shit together.
When Mac went up to Veronica and is like, Piz is here and he's looking for you. It was like, that's not the dire situation right now.
But what you need to be doing, Mac, is unplugging this.
What you need to be doing is opening your cell phone and like oracling this shit and hacking it.
Yeah, hacking into it. You're like,
hacking into like the NSA or something.
Mainframe database, Madison's laptop. Like,
she just pulls out one of those like Mission Impossible like Iron Man screen, like digital.
Oh my god,
like, holo screens.
I would have came. Oh my god, Tina Majorino is Oracle. Let's do that. No. We need an actress that cannot walk. So the Madison do you hate for some reason remember you hating the punch between Madison and Veronica?
I just think it looks really fake. It's edited weirdly.
Okay, that's fair.
I think
that's fair.
Does it look like Veronica actually connects with her?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But I like the idea of the punch. I love how Madison's like, what are you gonna do? Like, shock me with your like you can taser? And like, that's so original.
And I like that it was actually earned because it wasn't like we've talked about this plenty where Veronica's like anger towards Madison is very misplaced. But kind of also at this point, it's its own thing beyond what happened at Shelley Pomeroy's party. It has evolved beyond that at this. It's like so far removed from it. But I think having Madison play the sex tape really earned that punch. Like, she earned getting socked in the face.
Like, I almost wanted Veronica to like tase her. But,
yeah, right.
But like, also no, because she was like drenched in water and like that probably killed her. And also like
shot yourself.
Backfired on Veronica, like how Logan got backfired. But the punch, it was. I'm like, can we just make sure she's not face down in a puddle, guys? Thanks.
I loved our little makeshift Magic Mike scene. That was very enjoyable. That was fan service at its peak, I feel. And then I legitimately teared up at the Clemens moment.
I just wish it was
more than a brief moment.
No, that's fine. I liked it. I just wish it wasn't like in the chaos. I almost wish it was like during the reunion. Also, like it's, I don't know, maybe it's different in like smaller towns, but like my high school reunion, not that I went to, but like the school didn't throw it. It was more like
Student affair?
Student affair.
But did the school throw this?
Because Clemens says they put the deposit down on the place. Because that's why Clemens was there.
Oh.
Because I'm like, that's weird. Because, like, as a principal, you had to go to, like, every single 10-year reunion. So
you have a reunion every year?
Yeah. And then it's also, like, it's also someone's 20th reunion. So you're going to, like, multiple reunions a year.
That sounds disgusting.
And there's no way the school is, like, pitching for this.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different because it's Neptune.
Maybe.
And, like, Madison's like, excuse me?
But also...
Maybe they don't pay for it any other year, but it's Madison. So she's like, I set this up back when I was there. Like, there's a fund. If you check this bank account, it should have accrued enough as well through the savings.
But also, it was at the 09er, wasn't it? So I don't think they should have been charged. It should have been a free event.
That was the after part. Wait.
No, the after party was at, like, Gia's place.
Oh, gotcha.
But also, I believe all those 09ers would still charge the school to have their reunion. You don't stay
actually, if you could just put that in my bank account.
You don't stay rich from doing things for free.
Right?
But yeah, I like seeing Clemens. It was a cute moment where he's like, I've been very bored. I just didn't like that he was there. It didn't make sense from like a...
I got it, yeah.
Why would he be there?
So then we are at the after party, and...
I love them dancing together and Veronica's voiceover.
Oh, that is that's such a perfect moment. Like her talking about...
I like when she's talking about her mom. There's something really interesting about it because she still clearly has unresolved issues. And I'm still saying season 5, let's bring back Leanne.
It's a big thing too. Like, just like when you're the child of like addicts, like you don't necessarily fall into their same addict. If anything, you're more likely not to fall into that same one because you're so cognizant of what the alcohol, drug, etc. can do.
But what
to
I
you.
find really funny is she doesn't fall into Leanne's addictions because I'm sure she tried really hard, but she's fallen into all of Keith's addictions, and I don't think she realizes that.
I don't even think it's even Keith's addiction. I think
Keith has like a thrill addiction or like going too far.
Huh. I don't see that.
I mean, I do because it just has this I do, so it must be right.
So it's canon now.
It's been established. I just think she's trying so hard not to be her mom that she's fallen into a lot of not just bad habits of her mom, but of Keith as well. Because Keith makes a lot of really bad, shitty choices, and that's why he is where he is. I mean, he has a beautiful house now, so who am I to talk?
Well, what I was saying is, like, you hardly ever fall into your parents' addiction. You usually fall into your own addiction. Like, just Veronica's need to be right, to solve things, to, like, this junky adrenaline rush of solving a crime. Like,
well, that's why she can't get from anything else. Fallen to Keith, because Keith has those same tendencies.
But I think his is more of a...
Keith always has to be right. That's why he's torpedo. That's why he's shit a lot of his career. And like his first time as sheriff, and even like his second time as sheriff. I mean, that was all Veronica. But he's also him and Veronica both have this tunnel vision, and that's why they have no real relationships. That's why Keith doesn't have any friends or loved ones except for Veronica.
I feel like his is more like an addiction to heroism.
True. I guess I can see that.
Hers is like a virtuous, like
his addiction to be right.
His addiction to white knighting.
Yeah.
In a way. Like that, whereas Veronica is just like, no, I'm right, and I'm
Keith
going to
very much
prove it to you.
Saves the damsel in distress.
Yes. Yeah.
And Veronica's like, I just want to prove I'm right. I don't care who I'm helping.
I'm going to burn everything to the ground to show you I'm right.
Exactly.
Like, burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, that voiceover scene, like the slow-mo,
so
and it's
great.
like her cutting to like who she's gonna talk to.
Well, it felt very season one. It felt very like Diane, I have to say.
Yes.
I know Diane wrote the scene. I don't
She
even
did.
care.
She did.
Because it felt very
I would
much
put
like
money on it.
an Eccles Family Christmas. There was something about it and her like going through all these people. It was nice. And like I like seeing like Luke. I like Sam Huntington who plays Luke, and I thought he was really fun in season 1. So it was nice seeing him back. I like that him like Gia's like clearly clung on to like a guy who is gonna have power.
Yes. Oh, she's like, oh yeah, Congressman's son, and he's on the right track.
But it's weird because it feels like
too.
she's going after like she's dating her dad. And it's like it's
Right.
weird. It's weird. I'm like, but remember what happened to your nan?
And I love how she introduces him as that, like, out the gate,
But it's
lets her
also
know,
funny,
oh, I'm
she's
dating
like,
this man.
Veronica's like, I knew him first, so calm down.
Right? I love
You guys didn't even share a season together, okay? You were different seasons.
You guys have never interacted. Like, stop this. I love when Veronica's going to get drinks for everyone, and Mac, like, hollers at her, and a granddad, the bourbon, not an old guy. Like, just...
Also, okay, so when they come back and they're like, act like where she was, it's not like Gia's apartment was that huge. Do they not just see her, like, sitting on the couch talking to Dick?
like going around, like, clockwise in this, like, circular-looking room.
Because the three of them are, like, the center of the room.
Yes! There is, like, I guess, a wall, like, separating
Still, it
out.
was weird. I'm like, it would have made more sense if this was happening at the 09er than at Gia's apartment.
Yeah. And then we're at the end of this part where Weevil is driving home.
Oh no, I just want to go back. Sorry, before we jump over. I just really like how Veronica has zero tact. It's just like, so what happened the night Susan Knight died? I just want to know.
Yes.
I don't want to know. And then Dick's like, okay.
Dick's like, really don't want to relive this horrific, tragic memory.
Sure.
But
And then how
sure,
Gia's just
Veronica.
like, I hired a bartender. Now is not the time, Veronica.
There's a full open bar. What are you doing?
Like, why are we discussing this? And I like how everyone's very much like, Veronica, we all went to school with you. Just like, we know what's going on. Like, come on.
Let's cut the bullshit.
Cut the
We're all
bullshit.
adults here.
Tell us what's going on. Like,
I love it.
I
So we
wish Madison was at the after party, but I also feel like her and Gia would not be friends.
No, like, I don't think Madison's really getting along with too many people at that after party.
Well, Madison is also like a trophy wife. I hope.
I hope you're right. From your lips to God's ears. So Weevil is on his way home from dropping off the babysitter, which that sounds so cute. I
But it reminds
love...
me of The Simpsons with the Milo gummy.
Oh my god! Yes.
Juicy tender Venus.
Please, if you don't know what we're talking about, please go search that Simpsons clip on YouTube. Just type in The Simpsons Homer babysitter,
It's
and I am
great.
certain it'll pop up. Great. I'm not gonna ever
So this is why you never do a good deed.
So he's on his way home and sees some PCHers circling a car, and being the stand-up guy he is, he goes to try to stop it. But there is this white woman in the car, very afraid.
I don't know how she got lost if she's lived in Neptune for such a long time. That I don't
But
get.
she has never traveled down there, let's be honest.
Then why would she
anyway,
I get it.
the woman we're talking about is Celeste Kane, who ends up shooting Weevil when he knocks on the window offering help because she's scared of the brown man.
I mean, not to,
In her defense,
not to
though, I will
victim
say-
blame.
She didn't probably see him when she shot.
But
Like,
also,
it wasn't
she
like
would have shot him
Weevil.
anyway.
Yeah, she would have seen brown. But,
Because
oh, no.
do they? No, they never knew that he was hooking up with Lily, right? Like, they never found that out?
In Veronica's mind.
In Veronica's mind, that's right.
Yeah, because we had that whole...
That's right.
Like, Jake found out?
Jake found out. Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's great to see Celeste.
When you text me, we're ending at that part, I was like, I forgot Celeste was in this. Okay.
Because originally I thought we were going to end after the party, like the after party ended.
Which would have been good.
But this is like such a short little like coda, if you will. It worked out perfectly.
And like the next scene is a good opening scene too. It all works very well. It's a good cliffhanger to end on, and we start in a very neutral spot. Because I know
they now start to go into police corruption after this part. I remember that.
So I'm excited for that.
Yes. But also, because like, I don't know. What do you think of this movie so far?
Love it. It went by pretty quick. I didn't realize it was like an hour into it by the time I was there.
Yeah.
I thought I had a bit more time. I was like, when does he get shot? Like, I'm like 58 minutes in. Okay, like, had to have only been like 30 something, and then like cut to him driving, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I like the setup. So far I've gotten everything I've wanted out of the movie.
I always found it really weird they made this the 10-year reunion, even though it wasn't 10 years.
Well, they could have even just set it ahead. Like, they made it take place in 2014 as well.
Do they make it take place
making it take place in 2016?
Do they make it take place in 2004?
I'm almost certain it doesn't take place in 2016.
It must.
I mean, it must, but I don't think it does.
But I don't think they ever like mention
a time.
Well, because Veronica says a few times that it's been 9 years since she's at one point. I'm pretty sure she said it's been 9 years since she's
seen. Which would be accurate.
Because yeah, she says it's been 9 years since she's seen Logan. So that would be 10 years.
Okay, so it is take place in 2016.
I just find it really weird that Rob just like had this idea and just like, fuck it, I'm going with it.
Which I think the high school reunion really works.
It does. It's very like cliche, but I think it brings back a lot of the good stuff we like about Veronica Mars, especially like the high school stuff.
Yeah,
because this feels very much like
people.
It feels like a very extended a trip to the dentist.
I wish. Oh God, just let Diane have her fun. But that's the end. We will wrap this thing up next week with the second part of the Veronica Mars movie, which is only, way up 48 minutes left? Something like that?
Yeah.
It's not like a full...
But I would love to also dig into... I feel like there's deleted scenes on the DVD. I would love to dig into those.
Then also we have our segments and everything that we're going to do
let's just say there are definitely some outfits that really stand out.
Oh my God, yeah. And if we weren't already so far in, I would say let's talk about those, but we both have to go.
The only second thing is I've used all my favorite quotes so far.
I know. But by the time we get to the next episode, it'll feel new again, so it's okay. I thought about this. And with that, make sure you are subscribed to the podcast so you don't miss any of these episodes, and give us a little tap-a-roo on the 5 stars to let us know that you enjoyed it. If you'd like to follow the podcast on social media, we are at Veronica Mars Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am at Ojo. That is OHJEAUX. Travis is also on social media.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Truant. That's Travis, then TRUANT.
Perfect. And then next week, we will see you for part 2 of this fun-ass movie. Stay toasty, marshmallows. XOXO. Veronica.
No.
Goodbye.
You tried to save Veronica Mars. We get it. Girl detectives are bitchier than regular detectives. Not into it.